Hello everyone. Welcome to Cliff Tech. In this YouTube channel, we talk about Microsoft Azure and .NET development. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can create a virtual machine on Microsoft Azure and how you can also connect to it so that you can have a graphical user interface to interact with your virtual machine. Please, if you're new to the channel, please do subscribe to this channel for us, and then you can also share the content with others for them to also benefit from it. So for us to create a virtual machine, we first have to open our browser. So I open my browser like this, and the first thing that I need to do is I need to search for Azure. So you see we already have an Azure, so search for Azure. So if you don't have an Azure account, creating an Azure account is very simple. You just click on Azure, and then you take you through the process and you verify your account, and when you are done, you have your Azure subscription. So in this case, I'm trying to log in into my Azure account. So this is an Azure Portal. There is three ways that you can basically interact with an Azure. You can do that through an Azure SDK. You can do that through the Azure CLI. You can also do through Azure Portal. And then even in Azure Portal, we have this shell that you can use. So you can also perform the Azure CLI here. So you can do most of the CLI stuff here. So this is we call it you can see this is we can do bash, you can do PowerShell. So you can do all the scripts stuff here, but we are not going to focus on that. What we are going to focus is how we can create a virtual machine and then connect to that. So in Microsoft Azure, you can, if you want to see all the services, Microsoft Azure has a lot of services that can help your business. So you see that all the services can help you to scale up your business. So in here, you see this is a service. So the virtual machine that we want to create is a service. In another way we can say it's a resources. So the first thing that we need to do here is to create a resource group. So in a Microsoft Azure, we call something the resource group. So we are going to click on the resource group, or you can even come here and then click on all resources, and then you see we do not have a resource. So let's go to resource group here. So here is a resource group. So right now we do not have any resource group. And then what resource group does is that you see on your personal computer you may have folders, and then inside the folders sometimes you have files. So in Azure you can group all your resources in a resource group, so that anytime that you want to navigate through it, I mean it's going to be easy. So let's say we are working on a web application, and then we have something related to a backend which we are running on Microsoft Azure. We can create a resource group, and anytime that we are creating a resource in Azure, we just select that resource group so that we group all of them together for us to navigate. So in your personal machine, you may have a folder that contains movies. So even in that folder, when you open it, you know that this contains movies, and you have others maybe contain pictures or something like that. So that is the same thing here. So we are going to create a resource group. So creating a resource group is very simple, and you need to have an Azure subscription, as I said. So when you create your Azure, you can use the free tier, which comes with $200 for you to use. And also you have 30 days free trial where you can do most of the stuff, but most of the services too are going to be free for you for the first year. So what we need to focus on is that we are going to give this a resource group a simple name. So I'm going to say that VM, so my VM, something like that. So my VM, right? So say this is what we have, and then we want our resource group to sit on US. So in Azure we call something region. It means that where we want everything to be. So in the cloud you can create a a resource, or you can create a service, and you decide where you want it to be. Yeah, so let's go ahead and then review and create. So in Azure, you click on review and create, and then you see now the validation is passed. So when I go back, I can go back to the basis. So after I'm hitting up your name here, so here you need to enter your name. So here we say my VM, and then you come here and you see that so now the validation is passed. So it means that we can go ahead and create this resource group. So I'm going to create the resource group. Yeah, so we are creating our resource group. So resource group is created. So let's go to the resource group. So you see now we have our resource group, but in there we do not have anything. So it means that if we take this scenario to our local machine, right now we have folder, but inside the folder we do not have any file inside. So in Azure, the resource group in our local machine will be the folder, and then inside that we are going to create resources. So everything else you see here, all the services can also be resources. It means that what we are going to create, Microsoft, the virtual machine is also a resources. So what we are going to do is that let's go ahead. We can do it from here where we want to create a resources, or you can also come here. You can go here, and then when you go here, you click here, and you see that all resources. So when I click all resources, I can also create from here, but I can also go here. You see we have virtual machine here. So in this case, the virtual machine will be, just click on virtual machine here. So now we have virtual machine. What we are going to do is that navigate to where you see that create. So you can see that we have create here. Click on create, and in this case we want to create a virtual machine. So we see that we click on Azure Virtual Machine is what we want to click. So we click on that, and yeah, so now we are here. So we are going to create a virtual machine, and the first step is that we have our subscription. So the subscription help us to access these resources. So now when you click here, so you see when you are creating a virtual machine, you need to assign or indicate a resource group. And since we have already created a resource group, what we are going to do is that we are going to, instead of us to create new from here, we are not going to do that. So we are going to click here, and you see that we do have this resource group here. So you see my VM is here. We click on that. So it means that the virtual machine we are going to create is going to sit on my VM a resource group. So let's go and then give it a name. So in our virtual machine we can give it a name. So you can see that your virtual machine is supposed to have a name. So I have this VM, and then we want it to sit here. The region is cool. We wanted that. We also want this one default. We want this one default. And I don't know, maybe on your side this image section might change. So if it change, you do you do something like this. You can choose which one you are comfortable with. So in this case, I'm going to leave the default because I'm comfortable with that. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to leave default. But here is where we need to trying to enter something. So what we are going to do that is username. So on your machine, sometimes if you want to connect to see, you need to have a username. So I'm going to say that here I'm going to use Clifford, something like this. So this is the username I have. I need to have a password. So always my password, I'm going to say you can go ahead and create your own password. So I have my password inside. Let me create a password. So I have a password. So 1 7 8 9 10 maybe 11 or something like that. So password must be the following. So we need, it means that I need to come up with one low uppercase. So something like this, and then let's go ahead and do something like this. So I have this. Let me try and repeat it here. So you repeat your password. So make sure you do that. And if everything match, then you are not going to get any error. It means that everything is cool. So we can go ahead and make sure this one is checked, because RDP it's a way of reconnecting, to our Windows virtual machine. So you see that the virtual machine we are creating, the image that we have here is Windows. So it means that we are going to use we are using Windows. So to connect to Windows port, we are going to use this. So leave everything default. So let's go to next. This, we are not going to do anything here. So let's leave this one default, because, so let's go to networking. So here in networking, make sure everything is here. So it's going to create most of the default stuff for us. So let's go. At this point, we can go ahead and say that review and create. So when we hit review and create, it's going to run, and first of all, it's going to check for validation. If the validation pass, then it will allow us to create. So the validation, what it does is that it's going through whatever we have provided and check if everything is valid, or if we have provided all the necessary stuff. So you see now our validation is passed. So it means that we can go ahead and create our virtual machine. So what we are going to do is that we are going to hit create. So now we are creating our virtual machine, and then Microsoft Azure is trying to provision that one for us. So now we can see that there is something showing up here that we are trying to initialize deployment. So it means that Azure is trying to create this for us. So let's give it a thumb. So I'm gonna pause, and when it's done, then we continue. Okay, so now our virtual machine is being created, and we have this one inside the resource group that we created. So now we can connect to it. So very simple. If you want to find this, you can just go to here. So when you click here, to toggle, and then you see that you have resource group here. So you click resource group. So this is going to open the resource group that we created, and initially we created a resource group called my VM. So when you click my VM, inside my VM, we're supposed to have the virtual machine that we created. So under this virtual machine is a resource. So we have put in the virtual machine in a resource group. So when you click my VM here, MV, which is the virtual machine name, when you click on it like this, it's going to open our virtual machine for us. So this is our virtual machine, and already you see that it's already working. So our the start button is not enabled because everything is running, so we can stop it. But this time around, we just want to connect it. So we are going to navigate to where you're saying that connect. And so we click on the connect, and you are going to get this drop down, and you have to click the first one, connect. So we hit connect because we want to connect it so that we can get the graphical user interface to interact with our virtual machine. So the next thing what we are going to do is that in here you see that we have a section say select and download RDP. So basically we want to download the RDP, and then we want to connect to it. So what we are going to do is that we are going to click download RDP, and you see you have to click keep because we want to keep it. Okay, so we click on keep here. So I'm going to open this here. So you see I already have this one here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on that. So when I click on that, basically I'm going to have an interface like this. So this interface is asking me either I want to connect to my virtual machine. I've said okay, connect. So when I hit connect, I'm going to get an interface like this. Let me bring this back. So I'm going to, you see the name that we created when we were creating. When we were creating the virtual machine, we indicate a name, username. So you can see that username here. So now go ahead and enter your password. So I'm going to enter my password here. So I'm going to enter the password that I used. So I was having this password. So you type your password in, and then you are going to get another interface like this. Yes, we want to connect, and now everything is connecting. So let's see if we are going to get an interface. Okay, so let's see how it goes, you know. Okay, so we are connecting to our virtual machine. So yeah, so you see now we have this is our virtual machine. So you see that right now we do have another PC that we can use for anything that we want, and this is the virtual machine that we created on Azure, and we have connected to it. So now we have graphical user interface that we can interact with our virtual machine. You can create a Linux virtual machine too, and trying to connect to it using the SSH. But since our virtual machine was Windows, we can use the RDP to connect to it. So now we have connected, so let's try and see. So you see we can do everything, and in here we are getting a Windows 10 because we selected the Windows 10. So yeah, so you see we can launch our browser here, and then we can do whatever we want to do. So you can create a virtual machine, you can use it for anything that you want. So you see we want to start without any data. So I can go ahead and do that, start without any data. So confirm, because I want to type in something in there. Yeah, so this is our virtual machine. Now we want to browse using our virtual machine. So we see we have Microsoft Edge here. We can go ahead and search for Azure. So when I type in Azure like this and I hit enter, so probably this is supposed to give us we can use it as a normal browser on your PC. So you see you can search for anything that you want in here. So you see everything is working. So you can go ahead and play around with this, and if you want to close it, you can just come here and then you hit close. And so this is a virtual machine. This is not our normal computer. This is a virtual machine that we are using here. So we created a virtual machine, we have connected it, so you can do everything. You can even install some stuff that you want in here, and then you can use it as your normal PC anytime. One thing about Azure too is that you can provision and deprovision. So it means that you can even start something and later on stop it. So we can go ahead and stop this our virtual machine, so we can close it because we don't want to use it, or if we can cancel it and try to manage it like this. So let's go to, this is our virtual machine. Let's go to my virtual machine here. Let's go here, and in here we can hit stop. Right, so the moment I stop it like I want to stop it, so I'm trying to stop the virtual machine. So after I'm done creating everything, make sure to stop your virtual machine. Yeah, so if you want to use it for maybe further stuff, then you can go ahead and still play around with that. But so it's going to stop. So now you can see that everything is done successfully. So we have stopped our virtual machine. Now you see the start button is enabled, so it means that we can even also start our virtual machine anytime you want. So you can basically create a virtual machine and then you stop it. So whenever you want to use it, you can come here and then try to start it. So when you start, you can then go ahead and connect, and then you connect using the RDP, and then you are free to go. So thank you for watching this video. If you have any question, you can drop them in the comment section. Please do subscribe to this YouTube channel and then share this content with others. Thank you for watching Cliff Tech.